What is going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo, and it is again Slashback Saturday. I usually say this at the end, but I'm going to say it now. Go and check out everybody else doing Slashback Saturday, especially Joe, the horror man who created it, my super slash brother. I love him. He's awesome. Go check him out. This week's theme was the slashers. Slashers that started with the movie The. And I chose a Wild Eye film. So I've got to thank my boy Danny for sending this to me, and I got to thank Wild Eye for just being awesome. Guys, go and check out Wild Eye. They are definitely where it's at with independent horror. They are the best in the game as far as I'm concerned. Now, this is one of their earlier releases from back when the company was really getting going. This is The Thrill of a Kill. Now, The Thrill of a Kill is a Norwegian slasher torture nasty film. This is from the original Raw line that Wild Eye had. Before they had the Raw and Extreme line, they had the Raw line for more extreme titles. Directed by Lars Erik Lai and starring Kirsten Jacobson as Kimsey and Arv Herman Targan as our killer. Now, this is a 2011 Norwegian film, but it was released here in the States by Wild Eye for the very first time ever, never before released in America until this release. A young woman named Kinsey gets into a fight with her mother and runs off. She's going through the woods where she happens across a photographer. She gets knocked out a couple times and realizes that she is in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Unfortunately, she realizes it a bit too late. Our killer is stalking and hunting her through the woods. As that stalking and hunting scenes is where we're going to get into our pros, because I have no cons for this film. I did really enjoy this movie. It is a old film, shot on video style film, but I still had no cons. It was a lot of fun. They did a really good job with this film. The acting is all good, the story was well written, and the blood and gore is on point. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with my specific pros. And the first one that I have is that our killer uses different weaponry in this film. We see him kill with a pitchfork. We see him use a bow and arrow. We see him use a butcher knife. And we see him use a chainsaw. The second thing I like is that the killer toys with his victims. He was using the bow and arrow to toy with her. While she's hiding on a cliff, he's shooting in front of her and behind her to hurt her and to scare her. And it really did work. It was very effective. Even though this movie is shot on video, they set up the shots really well. Now, there is sometimes where the camera jerks a bit or it's a little shaky. But I think that comes from inexperience, or that could have been what they were trying to go for in the first place. This movie flashes back and forth to the present time and then to when the killer is a little boy. And when he's a little boy, he kills his mother and one of the men she brings home. And that's kind of what drove him mad, was that she was constantly bringing all these guys home. And she used to beat him, and she used to call him names. She used to do all kinds of shit to him. It was really bad. I really thought it was funny, though, when she was telling him to get his ass to the store to buy her beer. And he's like 10 years old. But I lived in Europe for a while, and that is not unheard of. So it's during one of these flashback scenes where we see him kill his mother. And I really did like the death scene. It was really funny. They placed the right music in the scene, and they show him chasing her around in the snow with a pitchfork. And then he finally gets her and he stabs. And it was a funny scene. I really did enjoy that scene. I liked it a lot. It leads me into the music. I liked the music of this movie. It was the right songs for the right parts of the film. I know that it's not their own music, but it all worked out. And even though the movie's in Norwegian, the language is different. All the songs are in English, which I did find funny as well. I did really enjoy the gore. Like I said, this is from the Raw line. And that means it's supposed to be an extreme movie. Well, I mean, it had some blood and gore, and that was pretty good, but I was like, where's all the extreme coming in yet? I haven't really seen anything be that extreme. Because it says right on the back here, recommended only for the most depraved and experienced viewers. It really wasn't that bad to me, until we get to the very end, when Kimsey gets her revenge. And she literally lops off the killer's dick. And you get to see her cut right through it. And that part was pretty extreme. Not I mean, it was obviously fake, and you can kind of tell, but it was still done really well. The gore was done really well, and it looked like what would happen if you literally cut off a boner. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down. I'm not down with that. It was like, ugh, I don't want that on me. But I was down with the effect. It really did work. I did enjoy it. Guys, I do recommend The Thrill of a Kill. If you can find this, if you can pick this up from Wild Eye, or from anywhere that sells Wild Eye, it's shot on video. It's got its issues as far as the quality of the picture framing goes. But aside from that, it's a good film, and I really did enjoy it. I do have one small thing that's it's not really a con because it's not a con on the film. The subtitles are not very good. Whoever did the subtitles didn't do them well, didn't space them well. You had to at first you're kind of like, well, which one is for who's talking? But you can figure it out. It's not too hard. And they're set very low down in the screen to where they're almost disappearing into the screen. And I didn't like that, but it's okay. You know, it was an early release, and it didn't have a lot of money behind it when it got its release here in America, so that's okay. Guys, check out The Thrill of a Kill. Check out my merch store at the House of Horrors over on Teespring. And check out Bronco Juggalo's Horror Mob. I am Bronco Juggalo. Peace.
Things that I wouldn't do to taste your blood.